name is Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards. If you're new to this, you're just going to watch me make boards here. You can get a Life skateboard of your own at lifeskateboard.com. There's that there. I'll have a better sign for you to see later. So today I'm going to be loading up some mellow boards into the press and loading up the standard press. We had somebody that wanted specifically green veneer on their bottom plies there, so I'm going to start off with those 7-ply boards. This is usually what I do before the lives, but I want to kind of show you guys what I'm doing. So this is called pulling the layups. The layups are the 7 plies that'll end up making a skateboard. Whew. Alright, so we got faces. I'm going to grab 2 natural faces. We're putting 2 mellows in the mellow mold today. Grab 3 cores for each of these. And then we're going to grab 2 crossbands for each one. And a crossband is a horizontal grain. The horizontal grain inside of your deck gives it strength in every direction. These other ones have the vertical grains on them. Alright, so these 2 are good for the mellow press. Now we're going to get the next ones pulled for the standard press, and we are going to do all natural today. 2 faces, 2 more. Ooh. One second here. Alright. So I got 4 sets of faces here, and I'm going to grab 3 cores for each of those sets. When I'm done with this, I'll kind of go through what's inside of your board, and then we're going to get to gluing up some layups. I think I might have to wipe the camera lens off as well. Looks like it's got some dust on her. Alright, so now we're grabbing 2 crossbands for each of those. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. That's why I'm here, making skateboards for you. What we got on there? Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Last night, I ended up getting back to the shop for some side work at about midnight. During the day, I was helping some people move a piano. It was not a harpsichord, it was a piano. I misspoke yesterday. I was lifting it off of a porch. I fell. It smashed this side of my head. I'm alright. I mean, I hit myself in the head for fun, so I'll be alright. I counted inventory just fine yesterday, but that's why we didn't end up doing a live yesterday. Alright, so inside of your board you've got 7 pieces of maple. We've got a face, which is a pretty vertical grain with no blemishes. Got a core, not as pretty, but still vertical grain. And then a crossband, which is a horizontal grain, goes the other direction. Another core, crossband, core, and face. And that's what's inside your skateboard, and that's what we're about to glue up here. Alright, so I'm going to move you guys over here, and we are going to start gluing by hand. So here at Life Skateboards, we glue all of our boards by hand, and the reason for that is a glue machine misses the top ply and bottom ply, so it gets both sides of the veneer, and it also misses the crossband, since the crossbands can't go through. And we guarantee against delam, so we want to ensure that you have full glue coverage on every side of every ply inside of your skateboard. So we're going to get started here with the mellow press, which I believe the jacks are locked in place for. Before the live, I emptied out the presses, and we moved on from there. That's pretty much all I did. Ooh. And another thing, I did become YouTube partner, so it is possible to buy supers. I've never had that before. I have no clue how this works. So this is the first full live I've done since I've become YouTube partner, so I'm kind of interested to see what happens on this. Never been in this position before. All I know is that I think I turned on super chats or whatever so that people can donate if they'd like to. Whew. If you like what you're watching and you want to support it, I have no clue what I'm supposed to say about that or anything. Maybe I'll go watch some YouTubers and find out how they word that, because it feels real weird to ask it. Alrighty, and we are good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I said, they'd requested a dark green veneer. Oh, thanks, Sam. That's cool. Sam, the boss man, just bought my first super chat. Never seen that before. It lights up all blue. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Sam, for the test. Look at that. That's my first piece of revenue from YouTube right there. That's pretty cool. Hey, watching from Crincy. I don't know, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and I will admit ignorance on that. I'm sorry. Wow, guys. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Cake Baby Man and Oliver Funny Bones. You guys are rad. Thank you. This is really cool. Whew. Never had this experience before. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, Skateboard Nation. And thank you, Andrea. You guys are awesome. This is crazy. Oh, over in Indonesia, that's cool. But thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate that. I've been doing these lives just for the connection with you guys, and now it's kind of turning into this. That's pretty exciting. Ooh, if I start having income from this, we all know what happens then. I just get to give back to the community a little bit more. Whew, you guys are awesome. Oh, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. So like I said, I'm gluing up some boards for the mellow press. For our 9-inch and under boards, we offer our extremely deep concave as a standard, and then we do offer a mellow concave as well. We got a sponsor me one deck, bro. Well, so here's the website. You can get one of your own. You can tell me how you like it, and then you can order another one when you're done. Promise. Whew. And what's cool about getting a board from us is you know who made it. You get exactly what you want. All of our customers can tell you exactly what they like about us. And you're likely going to end up seeing your board get shaped on live. Wow, thank you, Nanya Business. Thank you, I appreciate you. Hi, Adriana, thanks for tuning in. About to finish gluing up this first mellow board here, and then we're moving on to the next one. I'm sorry, there was all the words are backwards. That's correct. If you look closely, it's backwards and forwards because that's what happens when you post a video from the front camera so I can see what you guys are saying. I appreciate you, Oliver. What skateboarder? So this has ended up for a customer. You actually might be watching right now, Zeke. It is very satisfying sound. So I'm gonna switch you guys around here so you can see what I'm doing. What's my story, Rich Star? My name's Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards at Life Skateboards. Worked here for a few years. Sam's been pressing boards since 2012. We do the entire process in-house. There's only 2 of us here. What's my story? I guess my channel gets into talking about sobriety quite a bit, skateboarding, board making process, ranting about the industry, and playing with my dog. So I guess that's my story. But that's a good question. Oh, I'm sorry, Boken. But if you end up getting a board from us, we guarantee against DLAM. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you as soon. Our boards are extremely strong. Wow, Oliver, congratulations. 9 years. I am 5 years from booze myself. Or no, I'm sorry, 6. And 4 years from everything else. I gotta start keeping track of that better. Alright, so I'm taping the ends up on this so that they don't shift around inside the press. You guys want the industry rant? Well, it's just kind of the differences and the things that we do. So here at Life Skateboards, we do things very different as far as our press and cure times, how we're gluing the boards and everything else. We just refuse to cut corners. There's things in the industry that don't make sense to be a standard for me, like the graphic application process of using heat transfers. While that's just kind of the standard, it doesn't make sense to put the board through extra stress just because it's easier to put a graphic on there. We use lino blocks, and I do think that screen printing is amazing, and I think that this industry should have automated screen printing before they hop straight to shoving your board through a 200-degree roller. But I also have some other things to say about the industry. We'll let that all come up organically. Oh. Ooh. Hey, that's really cool. Congrats, guys. We do have a team. If you go to the Life Skateboards Instagram, you'll see a bunch of clips from us. I'm not the owner, just an employee, and I ride for the team. I have a signature board with the team. But we've got quite a few members. We've got Key, Gavin, Jax, Justin, Max Doty, Andrew, myself, and I am sure I'm spacing. Oh, Lyle. How could I forget Lyle up in Michigan? We've got a good team, and we are talking about putting team video together. It's been very difficult. Jax's mom is a great videographer, so we're trying to put that together, and I will admit, me putting a part together has been very difficult to line things up with my schedule, but the goal would be to end up having a full team video. I do make skate content though. Yes, we do sell these. They're on lifeskateboard.com. 400 degrees, Sam. That's a good correction. Thank you. So Nunya asked, what prints do we do? So we use hand-carved lino blocks, the majority of which were carved by Ben Blakely, a local artist. If you don't know what a lino block is, it's pretty much just a big stamp. So it's a hand-carved reverse image of the graphic. And we apply all of our graphics by hand with Speedball lino block ink. But you can check those out on the website. There's a couple that aren't released, like the Lori graphic, which is my dog. But there are some great graphics on there. I even have a few tattooed on me because I liked them so much. Jax's mom is crazy with the camera, so she shoots professionally. She's been taking really good photos of Jax, and she took some great photos at the Q Skate Park camp. Her portraits are amazing, and I can't wait to see where her videography goes. as far as skateboarding. Is this an alternate universe moist critical? I get the comparison all the time. The crazy thing is, I don't consume content a lot, so I never know who you guys are comparing me to. But if it's somebody that makes skateboards, then maybe. I don't know. The alternate universe is better than the, call me the Dollar General version or Temu version like people usually do. Thank you. Barley grinds have been my favorite lately. They feel so rad. What's up, Deadpool? Miss skating. Gotta check the site. Oh, you got a 5-year-old that wants to skate? Yeah, definitely check our site out. So we actually offer a bunch of youth shapes as well. So we've got a youth mold where the kicks are closer together, but it still has the same concave as our other boards. I think you dig that for sure. We've got it in a 1990 shape, a twin popsicle shape, and the Douglas. And just a normal popsicle as well. Sorry guys, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this tape. Give me a second here and I'm gonna hit this on the orbital to get the glue off the side. Sometimes that fixes it and makes it so I don't have to grab a new roll, but we'll see. Alright. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this a bunch of times, but like I said, I did just become a YouTube partner, so you guys are able to get super chats and things like that. I've seen quite a few already, and it's awesome. I never expected this kind of thing to start happening. You guys are awesome and rad. And I'm going to bring you over here while I put stuff in the press. Versus one wingless termite, I'm going to say 100 gorillas win that one. That's just pretty... I think that's just automatic there. We got... Hey, congrats, Phoenix. I'm going to be honest. I have the memory of a brain-dead goldfish. And I hit my head real hard yesterday. So... I'm going to be honest, I don't remember much, but I appreciate you. And I'm glad you came back and got into skateboarding again. That's the goal. If my stream is going to end up getting people to skateboard, that's awesome. Hey, thank you, Oliver, again. Oliver is awesome. Hey, Rich Tater. Actually, so Sam had a skate shop in the early 2000s. And he came and skated Sam's bowl as well. So we have a bowl up in Muncie that Wee-Man also skated. That's rad. Speaking of people like that, I'm going to end up doing lives for the next few days. And then next week, I have a really exciting trip that I'm going to go on. I don't know how much I'm going to do live because I'd like to do a full video of the trip. I am going to Castle Bam. So, hoping to show you guys the whole trip, have a great time with Bam, see him and Danny again, and hopefully be able to show you guys how awesome that is, because I'm excited. Thank you, Deadpool, we do. There's even some more decks that aren't released, like our Monster Plies, the Outlaw, and a couple others if you want to check out our Instagram. That's Life Skateboard 1010. Alright, so I gotta grab the top half of this here. So this is the mellow mold here. This is one that we slide into here when we need it. This bottom part is the long mold, and the upper part is the youth mold. You'll see that close up as I line this up. Alignment is extremely important on these boards. If the alignment is off, the pressing is off, and the board's no good. And these are for a special order, so it has to be good. And there we go. Now I gotta slide the lower section of the youth mold in there. And we're gonna raise this up by hand. Now at one point these were hooked up to air for pneumatic jacks. I'm sure we'll do that again one day. We just haven't done that again since we've moved. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chat too much right now. The glue is a time-sensitive part of the process, so I gotta focus on this for a minute, but I can kind of see you now. Hey, thanks Oliver, I appreciate you. Thank you for the support, and hopefully you'll catch my other lives while you're back here, when you get back here. What's up, Tristan? Thanks for tuning in. Focus! But don't focus your deck. If you focus a life skateboard deck, it's gonna hurt. I bet. Alright, we got a jack that's slower than the other one here, so let's let her catch up. How am I doing? I'm doing all right, Brian. Oh, dang, chat, Deadpool. That stinks. I broke my leg a couple years back. I promise the wait will be worth it. Let it heal up right, and you'll be able to skate just fine. But I'm doing all right, Brian. Photo Demon, you can say whatever you need to, I promise. I might be a smartass in response, but you can say whatever you want. Jack on the left here is just moving a little slow on me. All right. So now I'm going to go until it can hold my body weight. When I'm using pneumatic jacks, I base it off of the time between the clicks, if that makes sense. But this is good for these jacks. Alright, so what you're seeing here is called squeeze out. That's where the glue pushes out from the pliers. When there's dyed veneer in there, like the ones on the bottom, it'll push the color out with it. The next press for loading is the standard press, and this one will fit 4. So we'll have 2 down here, 2 up top, and a center mold. Whoo! And while I was cleaning out that house yesterday, look at that. That little birdhouse van, isn't that rad? What's up, Dancing God? What's the pet? Deadpool said, what's the best park you've skated at? I think the coolest place that I've ever skated was Skateboarding before it burnt down. That was a great place, and what they had there was something really special. Unfortunately, at the time, I wasn't comfortable on vert, so I didn't really touch the vert ramp. Just the mini ramp in the loft. The street section down below. It was a great time. Whew. I think somewhere there's a video out there of that trip. So now we're going to be pressing all natural standard boards. Whew. So we do not sell our blemished boards. We just don't like that stuff getting out to a customer just in case it reaches someone that doesn't understand that it is a blem. That unfortunately can ruin the reputation for a board company. Do I ever make it down to Louisville to skate? Yes. Armstrong Extreme Park is actually the first vert ramp that I ever dropped in on. Almost died on that thing. This summer, or the end of this summer and this spring, or I'm sorry, the end of this summer and this fall, especially if I'm starting to make income from YouTube, traveling will definitely be more of a thing. So I'd love to make it down there to see you guys. How did it burn down, Dancing God asks. It burned down, to my knowledge, it was an electrical fire in the rectory of the church. Skate Laboris was a huge cathedral that was being switched over into a full skate park. It was beautiful. It was covered in world-class graffiti. It was awesome. Very sad loss, but Project Phoenix is what they're calling the rebuild, and I love it. Yep, Deadpool, that is the skate church. Whew. I'm very fortunate to have caught that before it was gone, but I can't wait to see what they do with Project Phoenix. I'm sorry about that, Shaw. I hope you heal up, bud. Broken hips are gnarly. My favorite trick to do, I really like Miller flips and 540 bonelesses. As far as transition goes, I like barley grinds on ledges, and my favorite flat ground trick would probably be between a fizzle flip and a tray foot body vario. Good question. And it doesn't matter if you guys double ask, these lives go pretty long, so I assume that the audience is kind of coming in and out, so I don't mind repeating myself. Hey, if I ever run into you, I'll give you all the advice that everybody gave me, because I needed it. If you find that clip of me dropping in at Armstrong, I milk jugged across the flat. I had no clue what I was doing. I don't really know how I survived that one. But later on, some people gave me advice at a vert ramp in Columbus. And that was because my problem was I was leaning forward, but I was standing straight up and not falling in. So to fix that subconsciously, I was told, obviously, everybody here is reach for your nose so that you lean forward when you drop in. But I got the advice to try to graze the coping with your backhand as you drop in. It keeps your shoulders low and you get to drop in on, and that, like I said, it only makes sense for vert. I hope that gives you a little bit of help there. That was the advice that I got. And then Peter Fernie standing on the deck screaming at me, but every single time I missed the coping was enough motivation to push me. Visionary Bullet asked, what do we call these? These are plies, and there's different ones. You got a face, core, crossband, core, and face. If you scroll back, I went through and showed all. I'm so sorry about that. I hope that you guys don't dip out on that one. I received a call. I forgot to turn this on Do Not Disturb. So give me a second here while I do that. Now the tons of scam calls will stop, I hope. Sorry about that, guys. How much is a board, Kai asked? So our popsicles are 70 and then shapes go up from there. Nice, Photodemon. It's not much of a difference on vert. You've just got to make sure you're low, because you've got to fall at least 14 inches of full vert before you even touch transition. So yeah, I actually that's a great point there. So you said something about they would like make a good thing to make a molded shelf. I actually used to make cat towers on my walls and shelves out of old skateboards. You can use old skateboards, repress them, and use the material that you make. It's really beautiful. Give me a second here and I'll show you something. I might have something in here. Yeah, so this is actually a piece that I'll be using later. This is a piece of old skateboards repressed together. Yeah, I hate them too, Brian. That's funny, OG. Yeah, the scam calls have been wild. It is non-stop on my phone. Somebody doesn't like me and definitely turn my number in somewhere. I have fun with them every once in a while, though. I have not been to Jefferson Barracks. No, I have not. Sorry. Whew. And I'm going to say it again, and I hope I'm not oversaying it. I recently became YouTube partner, so you guys can buy Super Chats if you like the stream and you want to support it. Really appreciate you guys that help the stream keep it going. And as I said, the more income that comes from this, the more stuff I get to give back to the community, and I love that. Yeah, dude, the cricket is very loud. It's annoying. I got the door open out there, hoping that he's gonna leave, but he's not. He's probably gonna invite his friends, have a nice little dinner, play some folk music, try to mentor a small puppet child. This cricket is out of control. Can you buy boards? Yes, you can buy these decks at lifeskateboard.com. We ship all over the world. International shipping sucks for right now, but it is a flat rate. So order with your friends. We might lose some money on shipping, but multiple board sales are always good. What's on my face? I've got a traditional snake on the left side and a spider web on the right side. Both of them came from skateboarding, so I decided to make them the most visible to myself as I could. The things that came from skateboarding are very important to me, so that's what I did. Now this is what I do. So, whew. Thanks, Richie. It actually doesn't. I'm real mad that cricket won't shut the hell up. It smells like wood in here. It's nice. Definitely doesn't smell like IPAs. We're actually a sober company. Boss and I are both addicts in recovery. Although I will say that is one thing I did miss. IPAs did smell really good. It's cool to appreciate the smell of something without appreciating what the effect it had on you. You know what I mean? What do you use? Connor asks, and that's a great question with the great descriptor on there. So he asked if this is Canadian maple. A lot would say yes. I like to say Great Lakes maple. Sometimes the maple comes from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And if you didn't know why we get maple from the north, is because you want trees that have slow growth and long winters, so the grains are tighter. The reason you use maple, it's a very malleable but strong wood, especially with those tight grains from slow growth. Good question. Graphics. So we apply our own graphics here at Life Skateboards, and we apply them by hand with hand-carved lino blocks. When I'm done here, I can hop over to the studio and show you those. I'm not going to be applying graphics today, unfortunately. What would I recommend to a beginner? Yeah, dude, he's just... That cricket, I wish somebody needs to make him a YouTube account. He has some stuff to say, clearly. What would we recommend for a beginner? As far as shaped boards, I think the twins are a great place to start. You can get funky if you want to. But if you want to go on our website and you're not too familiar with what you're looking at, you can just select the Make My Life Complete option and we'll part everything out for you. Get everything set to size for you, get you your trucks, wheels, bearings, hardware, and grip. And that deal is $110 plus the price of the deck. So for a beginner, if you just wanted a popsicle, that would be $180 before tax for a full complete. Handcrafted. All right, we got 2 more of these to go here. Connor asked what degrees. I don't know what degrees these are. We just have extremely deep concave here at Life Skateboards. The only person that's really taken the time to measure it was someone who left a negative review that I quoted for an ad saying that we had too deep of concave. We do offer a mellow concave. We have the same concave across all of our other boards though. The wider presses are just a little bit more spread out. So we've got a standard press for 9" and below. We've got a long and wide press for 9 to 11.75. And then for boards up to 14.2, we have a monster press. Thank you, Delmir. Do you press the plies between the mold? Yeah, so you will see the process start to finish here. What you watched just a minute ago was me loading up the mellow press. So what happens is we glue these up, put them under pressure, and then they're in the press under pressure for 24 hours. Once they're under pressure for 24 hours, we pull them out and let them cure in a stack of their own shape for a week, and then we cut the shape out. We're not going to be doing any shaping today. I'm just catching up on some stuff I should have done yesterday. But if you scroll back through, I do post all of my lives in full for you guys. So feel free to scroll back through. Most of the time I'm working through a bunch of shaped boards to shape. There are a couple lives if you go far enough back where I did the graphics on my own board. Cleaning skate park lives and things like that. Hey, thank you, Richter. Kicks are 20 degrees. Thank you, Sam. So Sam is the owner and good friend of mine of Life Skateboards. He's the owner of Life Skateboards, started in 2012. So there's your answer, guys. 20-degree kicks on those. Thank you. Connor, so nose and tail length is going to depend on what wheelbase you choose. However, yeah, it's 20 degrees. It's 20 degrees on the kicks. Have we seen the new Andy Anderson shape? I'm going to be real honest with you. I've been seeing it for a long time. Go to our website and check out the twin that we've had for a very long time. And I'm going to let you make your decision on what I think of all that. Whew. Oh. Even hatred disguised as humor is not welcome on this page. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely was what he was trying to do right there. He got hidden from my channel. Here at Days of Casper, we try to keep things positive. Sometimes we talk about some heavy stuff, like addiction, recovery, and things like that. But the end goal is always to leave a positive impact. So if someone is in here causing problems like that, if I don't notice it, fill the chat letting me know, because I'll quickly ban them. But I just don't want to have that type of negativity in my community. I try to use my platform to help people, and I don't like the idea that people can come in here and bother other people. You know what I mean? Even if it's not directed at somebody, it could get read by someone that doesn't need to read that at that time. Oh. Did your first bunny hop? Hell yeah. Yeah, Connor, like I'd suggest is go to our website and check out, you know what? No, I got you. Here, I'm going to show you a shape that we've had for a very long time. Real quick here. And this is just a template. Remember, this isn't the board. This is the shape gets cut out on. Does that look familiar? Looks super familiar to me. Yeah, I've seen all those, Connor. So we don't work with carbon fiber because we're real damn good at all wood construction. I'd suggest trying out one of our boards, so then you can ask people if they've tried out a life. I can hear myself on like a 5-10 second delay in Sam's car outside right now. I can hear you laughing now too, Sam. I hope you can hear his laughing. That would be funny. How's the dog doing? She's doing great. We went a long walk this morning. Yep, and we've had that shape for a very long time, Falcon Hunter. So, you put 2 and 2 together there for me. Rider, you need a piece of plywood, you can go to Lowe's. I'm making skateboards. Yes, go out in the rain and start taking laps around your house. I'm a little confused by your question, Connor, because once again, you should probably get one of these boards and try them with your questions that you're having there. These boards are very different than a factory board. They last a long time. I guess if I tell my story on how I discovered life skateboards, that would help. I used to be working in a skate shop. I was skating every day. I was heavy-footed, and I was going through a deck a week. That was only sustainable for me because I would take 1 day of shop pay for a board. I thought that was pretty normal for everything because I tried everything. And then a guy came into our shop, had a handcrafted board and a story about it. I tried it and it started lasting me a month instead of a week, which was huge for me at the time. And that was when I was just skating the popsicles and the smaller boards. And then a few years later, that guy that had come into the shop actually wasn't the person making life boards, it was someone claiming to. So the guy that worked here before me hit me up, said I made that board, I came out here and checked it out, and then a few years later, here I am making the boards. They're very, very different than factory boards, so if it's something you're not used to, you should definitely check us out. It's something you probably haven't experienced yet. Bucket full of water, thank you, Sam. I appreciate you. You didn't need to bring it all the way back here, dude. Why do skateboards not take? So visionary, it's everything that you're worried about in the rain. So obviously, water in wood, not a good thing. You don't want to waterlog your skateboard. The grip tape, obviously the adhesive on the grip tape would also be a problem. Your bearings would rust. Gonna cause your problems with your trucks. I mean, people can have a rainboard, you know what I mean? Something to just kind of kick around some shitty old parts. But that is the reason that you don't ride in the rain. But sometimes it's fun, because it's super slick and difficult to skate, and sometimes difficult is fun. Just popped in. Thank you, Jackson. I appreciate you. All right, so now, visionary, you just wanted to see the whole process, so we are going to hop right in here. And we're going to load 4 into this press right here. Yeah, having a rainboard is key. That means you got your shit bearings in there, you got your old trucks with loose bushings. Ugh. And prepare to power slide for a mile. Alright, so I'm going to throw these in the press here. And like I said on the last one, alignment is extremely important. So I'm not going to be able to pay attention to the chat while I'm lining this up. But I will talk to you guys about some cool stuff. I've said it a few times. I'm really excited to be a YouTube partner at this point. And if you guys enjoy what you're watching and want to support the stream, you can buy super chats on there. I know I'm about 1,000 away from being able to get ad revenue on full videos. Excited about that as well. Not entirely sure how that works at all, so I'm excited to figure it out. But But I'm also not going to be bummed if you just don't, you know, support the stream directly and just get yourself a life board, because that means I just get more work. And I'm never going to be upset to have more work. All right, so we're going to slip this upper mold in here. Align it. I always like to use the upper piece to get one end in. And go from there. All right. Slide these last two into here. Raise up the press. I'm going to clean off some lino blocks, and then I'm going to grip my own board. I usually skate DKL non-abrasive grip tape, but I've got some shoes that are about done. I'm having some issues with shipping right now from DKL, so it is what it is. I'm going to ride some Jessup for a week or two while I wait on that stuff. But I have needed a new board for a few days now. All right, I'm gonna grab these sticks, make sure these jacks are locked in. They were not. Grab my sticks here. And do the same thing we did on the other one there. Skateboards, that's correct. Thank you, Sark. How is DKL? Yeah, Connor, it's actually great. I will say there's a learning curve to applying it. You should always wait your 24 hours for that adhesive to set up. And always start with fresh shoes because it works with the pattern on the bottom of your shoes. I would 100% be skating it right now if I wasn't waiting on a package from them. And I'm pretty sure some issues happened in shipping. It has nothing to do with them. Never had an issue with the company. But if you apply it in one clean sheet to the whole deck, and your deck is less than 9 inches, you'll never have the problems that you see on my board. And it's so good for me that I don't mind those problems. I have a little bit of a peeling issue in the center of the deck because I can't apply it in one piece. But I don't mind replacing it when I have to because it's so good and it saves me so much money on shoes. We are currently raising this up, and you're going to be watching for the glue that squeezes out the sides. Oh, it's for everything. If you'd like to go to my page and see me skate, all of that is with DKL non-abrasive grip tape. If you'd like to check out Gio, a guy on their team that comes to almost all the contests that I throw and dominates. He's thrown bigger spin flip down 8 stairs with DKL. I've got clips of 540 flips with DKL, gazelle spins, frontside flips, all kinds of fun stuff, just the way I skate. So, yes, it's great. What shoes? Let's see. Hey, Pastor, if you'd like to scroll back, I've already explained that on the live here. We used to have pneumatic jacks on our old setup, but we moved shops and haven't hooked them up. So the board's got to get made. Doesn't matter how they're set up. I got to get it done. So what shoes do I skate? I skate the Crockett's. I skate park, street, vert, and do freestyle. So I have a signature board with the company. I don't know if that's what that means or not. There's a skateboard with my name on it. Does that count? I don't know. There's a signature shape and a signature graphic from Life Skateboards for me. Whew. And as I've said before, I don't own this company. Thank you, bud. Just boss, don't hate. I appreciate you. Whew. So the next thing I got to do here real quick is clean up the table. These are some of the best boards you're ever going to put your feet on. My favorite freestyle trick. I really like doing, I have no clue what it's called. Is it called a 50-50? stall in freestyle. Start off, grip up, lift it up to the tail, flip it over into a pogo, flip it over into a pogo on the other leg, and then board flip it, finger flip it back to flat. I really like that. You have some surf skates. Surf skates are determined by the trucks that you put on there. The surf skate community loves our boards. You can always get a deck from us, turn into a surf skate. I've seen a couple boars and hogs turn into surf skates, and people love them. Well, Fidello, so you just got back into skating. So the Wheelbase usually, now you're gonna hear me say a couple things here. Wheelbase is usually your trucks. However, we have an extremely deep concave, so Wheelbase is not gonna be that big of an issue. We can always add wheel wells to your board as well. However, because of different turn radiuses on trucks, it's sometimes not accurate on where that wheel well is. Because we don't know what brand of truck you're putting on there, you know what I mean? So check us out. Get a board from us with some really deep concave. We got a 14.2 that doesn't get bad wheel bite. Advice for staying lame, just stop caring. That's how that works. Yes, I have seen the titaniums. I personally skate the Ace Classics trucks because I like the sound of the hanger on concrete. I'm weird. The sounds of skateboarding are what make me happy. Do I like a tray flip or a vario better? I like tray flips a lot because I can tray flip tail grab and tray flip body vario. But I like how my straight up vario flips look. They smack the bottom of my feet a lot harder than a tray flip does. But my first flip trick was a vario flip, so. And the reason for that was I couldn't keep my kickflip straight, so it just turned into that. Woo! All right. I am a regular skater. Connor, that's definitely not true. There's a 14-year-old on our team that's dominating. There are children right now doing 900s to switch 900s. I watched a McTwist kickflip from a child recently. The Vert Alert contest, the Polar Vortex, Rage of the Rose, all those great big vert contests. We've actually got a vert ramp here. Hey, that's fun, Zach. Ha, you're goofy. I'm joking. That means some of the spots that are not very accessible for me are accessible for you. That means my favorite ledge at Major Taylor's is backside for you. That's rad. Dancing God, I do not keep my trucks tight enough to coconut wheelie. I can get them into a primo stall, but unless I tighten my truck, that's not gonna happen. Right now I gotta clean these lino blocks off after I pressed. The boss man did some graphics application today. So this is a lino block. It's a handcraft relief image right here. This is one of our top graphics. But he applied some graphics today. Sam's recovering from a surgery, so probably not fun to come back here and clean these up. Sorry that I can't see the chat from here. Just want to get this done real quick, dry my hands off, and bring some grip in there to set up a new board for myself. I'll get home, play with the doggo a little bit, and maybe get a little skating in tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm hoping to bring some prizes down to Columbus, Indiana. just got to clean these brayer rollers off, and we are good to go on getting my board set up. And don't forget, guys, if you want to support the stream, you can buy supers on my chat. I have no clue what else you can see. I don't even know how that works. This is my first monetized live ever. Really excited to be a YouTube partner and excited to see which direction this goes. So if you appreciate the stream and want to support it, buy some super chats or whatever. Or get a life at lifeskateboard.com. All right, just in case Sam locked the studio, I'm going to grab my keys, and then we're going to head over to the studio there. Whew. Alrighty, so I gotta grab my old deck and my new deck. Look at that thing. This is my new rider here. My signature shape from Life Skateboards. I got my old deck. All right, this is a lot to carry while I'm on stream. Let's catch up. We got going here. My Hot Pockets ready? Oh, that was my trunk opening. Sorry. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. I have no clue what I'm doing as far as these lives go, so I'm really excited to get that kind of feedback from you guys. Oh, I'm just enjoying working and sharing it with you guys. You did lock it, so it was a damn good thing I got the keys, or it would have been a boring walk back. Thank you, Maxime. Appreciate you. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Captivated. Board making is pretty captivating, I will say that. Very grateful for the opportunity to do this. Do I use protective gear? When I'm skating vert, I use a helmet and knee pads. When I am skating everything else, I don't tend to wear protective gear. Unless I'm like learning a new hand plant or something where I'm going to be suspended upside down, I'll throw on a helmet to learn a new trick. Not to say that you shouldn't wear helmets. If you're getting into skateboarding, get comfortable with your helmet on. I didn't get comfortable young. It's dumb of me not to. I hit my head a lot. So don't be like me. Don't be stubborn. Oh. Here are some collages that Sam printed this morning. These are just a bunch of the graphics printed over each other. This is one of the graphic options here. Does anybody know how to skate with skates? Yep, my fiance rides roller skates, quad skates specifically. I like quad skates a lot. I have a lot of respect for them. That's where our trucks came from. How long have I been skateboarding? I think it's 21 years at this point. Hey, you can always learn how to use quad skates. Find your local roller derby people. They would be happy to help you, I bet. Where is my board making bag? There we go. I haven't used real grip tape in a very long time. Whew. Maybe I'll do fun stuff with it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm just gonna cut random, weird strips in my grip tape, since I never do straight up grip tape. Casper's keeper. Who's my favorite Decatur? I don't know who my favorite Decatur is, but favorite skater would probably be like Clay Kreiner. I really, as a person, like Bam a lot right now. I'm gonna be real honest, I don't keep up with a lot of current stuff. I keep up with what's under my feet, you know what I mean? I am right in the camera. I'm sorry. I do not like these scissors. There we go. It's not super long. I think the angle of the nose kind of throws that off for you. As I've said a couple times, you can go to my page and see. But this is only 32.5. $14.5. No, wheelbase on this is sitting right at a 14-inch. I designed this shape, and that's what you see me skating all the time. Alright. Another piece there. Yeah, Brian, that's cool. Bam getting back into it is really exciting, and his sobriety journey is really exciting too. I'm stoked to hang out with him next week. No, Connor. So once again, I've been skating for 21 years. I've decided what wheelbase I like personally. For example, today I had someone want a 13.5. So wheelbase doesn't determine what type of board you have. A freestyle board is just something that's easier to turn on its rails, something with tighter trucks, and usually with wheels that flare out past the axle nut. That way you can sit in a primo stall. A lot of freestyle boards have the big chunks on nose and tail to be able to stand on pogos a little bit better. But no, 14.25 is your standard wheelbase. I wanted a 14 on this because I liked it. I mean, people like long wheelbases, people like short wheelbases. Skateboarding is very personal. So that's why I hate the boxing things into titles for things like cruiser or freestyle or things like that. The deck can be used for anything. There were some people in here asking about surf skates. Like I said before, these decks can be used for anything. Yeah, Ryan, I would agree as well. How long does the sandpaper, so this is grip tape, it lasts for the life of the board if you apply it well. And as I've said, this is the first time in a long time I'm using normal grip tape. I'm waiting on a package of non-abrasive DKL grip tape. But I've got a new pair of shoes to switch to when the DKL comes in, and I've got a pair of shoes that's almost dead, so I don't feel like I'm wasting too much. Whew. And if you didn't know, I do paint all of my shoes, and it's a really dumb superstition because I broke my leg the one time I didn't. So, I'm not very superstitious, but that is one dumb thing that I do. So I've got a pair of Crockett's ready to go. Yeah, everybody remembers Corey Duffel. Tony Hawk is rad. Probably one of, the most influential skateboarder in history, and he's still pushing the culture, pushing parks. A lot of areas have him to thank for their local parks. Alrighty, now we're gonna get going on creasing that edge there. And then I need a razor blade. Show me a razor blade. There we go. Sorry, get up in the camera again. So Night Forbes said, thoughts on Bam getting back into skateboarding and sober? I think it's awesome. He actually came to my local park and we had a great talk about sobriety and got to know each other a little bit and talked about his sobriety journey. I think that, yeah, he's been through a lot, and yeah, there's some fucked up things that happened during his active addiction, but I think that the story that he has and the journey that he's been through is going to be an amazing tool to help other people. One way that he worded his sobriety that I know is helpful to people was that he said that vodka was filling a void of boredom for him, and so now he fills it with skateboarding, which is something that I do, and that was something that pushed me to be sober. Is anytime I wanted to drink, I would go skate. So it's really cool to see people that, I'll be honest, I had to stop paying attention to Bam while he was in active addiction and I was in recovery. So seeing someone like that change everything around is pretty awesome. That's a really strange question, Rodney. Rodney's kickflip or Tony's 720? Neither would be in a contest, so I'm not going to compare them together, so I'm not going to compare them. You just, that's a vert trick and a flat ground trick. Obviously, a kickflip on vert, but we didn't specify if that was the fakie, so I'm not going to assume you meant the fakie. Yeah, I think him being back in 3 and 4 was a result of him being sober. So I was with him, it was last Friday the 13th, down in Indy, and we were talking about his sobriety at the time, and that was right when the announcement for him being involved in the new pro skater came out. I think it's awesome. He says some things like, he was told to just get sober and really cool things happen to you, and now it's happening, so he's, it's really cool to see all that. His girlfriend is amazing for him. Danny is a great woman that keeps him in line, keeps him healthy, and encourages him a lot. I'm excited to go spend a few days with them, and I'm going to be leaving on Monday to go see them. Really exciting. Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. So Connor, I think that's a unfortunate reaction of what the culture of skateboarding is. So skateboarding originated as a culture of outcasts. And whenever you have a culture of outcasts, there generally is a heavy drug culture because a lot of people, when they're outcasted, turn to drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism. And then whenever you have a community of people that are heavily into drugs and alcohol, you always end up with a subgroup of people that are sober and want to help each other get sober. And it's not about like, I don't want you to go get fucked up and I don't want you to go party. I don't want you to die is what I mean. Like when I was actively using, I wasn't using to go get fucked up. I was using so that I didn't wake up the next day. And I've lost a lot of friends to use, and I've lost a lot of friends to the disease of addiction. And so I'm happy for the shift that it's happening right now, where people are actually speaking out against it, especially when they missed the opportunity when we lost one of the bigger influential people in skateboarding, Jake Phelps, and nobody talked about drug use. Nobody talked about how some things were preventable and how treatment could have been used, but here we are. We've got a lot of people that drug use is the reason that we lost them, and we just ignore that. So I'm really happy that things have shifted towards being able to talk about recovery, sobriety, and being able to help people. There's my soapbox. Hope it didn't bother you guys too much. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, self-destruction is bad, but it's crazy because we don't realize it until we get past it that we are self-destructing. I mean, that's where I didn't make that realization until later that, I mean, I wasn't drinking to go get drunk. I was drinking to run away from reality and hoping that I didn't wake up by the time I wasn't blacked out anymore. Oh, that's weird. That's a super strange thing to say, Mike. And Mike, if you need help with your alcohol and drug use, feel free to ask for help. However, sitting here bragging about it is not a fun thing. And one day when you get clean and you get help, you're gonna look back on that and realize how stupid that was. This is my signature deck. I am not the guy from Nickelback. That's funny. You want to get my board so bad. You want to get on your board. It is pretty hot. So Patrick asked, has spirituality helped you in any way? For me personally, it wasn't the path that I followed. I would say it was through brute force and having a very good support system. However, I do fully respect everyone that uses spirituality, religion, belief, and faith to get sober. And if that is a path that you need to follow, I do have people I can send you to. And they're right here. They're with the company. The owner of the company would happily talk to you about those things. The company is called Life because sobriety gave us a new life with skateboarding. Obviously, that happened with my boss before me, but it's pretty cool that the whole company is kind of on the same page with all that. But once again, this isn't a judgment on other people for their use. It's I'm here, I care about you, and if you need help, I'm here for it. I'm gonna cut this one a little close. That's cool. I don't think we got to talk too much about sobriety and the impact of drug and alcohol use on this yet. That was neat. Appreciate you. Thank you, Chris. Wow, Thump, I'm so proud of you, man. You just hit your 1 year. That's awesome. It just makes me happy to see other people's success stories in here. And if you got a success story and you feel like sharing it, I use my chat as your meeting. I don't care. And I respect you for it, and I use nostalgia. That isn't something that I went for myself. I was at that point for a while. When I started with the company, my boss asked me to stop. I hesitated, which made me realize, like, damn, dude, you're so focused on this plant that you won't trade it for your dream job. We talked about it. He helped me with the transition to quitting. And I realized that I'm more productive. I'm an addict, so I need to admit that as well. So I just realized that I'm getting more done in a day now. I have more motivation. My mood is more stabilized. My memory is better. Yeah, I was getting a lot done when I smoked, but now I get a hell of a lot done. You know what I mean? I don't think I'd be able to multitask, make boards, talk to you guys, keep up with the chat, and also be able to keep track of my battery and the time if I was still as stoned as I used to be all the time. But once again, it's not judgment on others, it's just me. You can always ask me a question, Dancing God, promise. Of course, Chris. Hey, anytime that you need, like, hey, talk about sobriety, Casper, just tell me to, and I won't shut up for a little bit. And here's one of the reasons that I like talking about sobriety is because my life was so hopeless at one point. And there was a point where, I mean, like we said before, everything I did was in an attempt to die. So I look at the life that I have right now as I gotta have some type of purpose. And if my purpose isn't anything else, it's using my experience before to help other people so that they don't have to get as close to death as I did. But Solomon, I'm not gonna get into personal beliefs on here because my personal beliefs shouldn't affect other people. But appreciate the concern there. Where am I from? Indianapolis. Solomon, the reason I don't want to talk about religion is because that is a deeply personal thing for people. I would not want to offend, upset, or anyone here, and I don't want to open up that can of worms in my chat. Well, Dancing God, it's okay to... Wow, hold on. Khalil, that is very well put. I'm going to screenshot that. Excuse me while I kind of steal some of your verbiage for helping other people. I appreciate it. That's awesome. You guys are great. So, Dancing God, I mean, so you shouldn't dislike people like that. It's okay to distance yourself from people like that because obviously environment has a lot of effect on your sobriety and your well-being. But in my opinion, you probably should just avoid those type of people. Be honest with them about their lifestyle choices not being your lifestyle choices, and while it's not a judgment, it's just something where you have to guard yourself. A lot of people don't take that very well. I will admit that. So you can kind of judge what happens after that. I'm looking in here to realize that I do not have a Phillips bit for this impact in here. So we got to go take a trip. Unless I find one right now, we got to go take a trip to the... Oh! Look at that. Phillips bit. I got to put my rails in. Connor, it seems that you're just a little unaware of the things that go on. Mike V and the Rats are back together as a band. I have my local skate park has DIY punk shows and hardcore shows on a regular basis. I love it. Skateboarding is awesome. What kind of music do you like? I like punk, metal, some rap, that kind of stuff. Yeah, dude, skate punk is always there. Always has been there. Alive and well. Do I like NF? I have... Oh, yeah, I guess rock. Yeah? Is that... I guess? I think so? Sorry, guys. So I have to line this rail up with where the other rail was, which is a little bit difficult for me sometimes. I also just threw a screw on the ground. That was awesome. All time for me to grab a new screw. Sorry about this, guys. I haven't changed out my board in a while. Good to go. And these are Lil John's rails that I bent myself, but they do make bent and shaped rails. Where did that damn screw go? Because I did not find it. Oh, man. Oh, I know I've got a box of rail screws lying around here somewhere. Sorry, guys. I gotta make sure my board is good. This is for me, not a customer. What the heck? Well, here's what we're gonna do. I've got a box of them at home. I'll take the center rail screw out of this one and put it in the end here and make sure I throw another one in the other side. Sorry about that. You guys didn't get my attention for a minute there. Why no tailbone rail? What? Why would you put a tailbone rail on a board that's not freestyle? I'm very confused, Connor. You've been confusing me here. I really like rails. As you can see, our concave is so deep that it does touch in the middle. So for me, rails are for my grabs, varials, and things like that. I designed this board myself. Life skateboards, Madrid and Santa Cruz aren't anything I skate. If you scroll back on and you're a little bit interested, you can check that I have been making these boards from start to finish. You can get one of your own at lifeskateboard.com. And looks like I need myself 3 replacement screws. Yeah, I only skate Life Skateboards, the boards that I make. If you guys would like to support the stream, remember you can buy super chats or whatever the heck those things are. I appreciate everybody that helps support what I'm doing here and makes this more possible for me to get better equipment and things like that. But alright, there's my rails there on my board. Now it's time to swap out the trucks. I'm going to strongly disagree there, Connor. Just wax your board. I'm very confused. I don't even use tail rails on a freestyle setup. We've discussed this, but anyway, I'm gonna swap out my front trucks first. And this is so weird. I have not seen my shape with normal grip tape on it in so long. And I do ride 1/8 inch risers. I get wheel bite. It is what it is. I ride 59mm wheels. I just wax my wheel bite spots. Over clear coat my bottom ply and send it. Yeah, I wouldn't like the plastic either, but I also wouldn't like to adjust a board that I made for pop, you know what I mean? Because that's what it sounds like. That is adjusting a board's pop by adding to the tail. I think ours are perfect the way they are. Yeah, Connor, just get a board from us and let me know what you think. That would be awesome. This is my signature shape here. Oh, Tay Cobra thinks that because of the way I look, am I homeless, buddy? I'm at work right now. making skateboards, doing what I love. If you have a problem with that, or you know, and also homeless people are people too. I used to be homeless. It's a super strange thing to say. Remember, you're always a few bad decisions away, just like the people you talk down on. That's why you should always be kind. And judging by your willingness to hop on the internet and think that you're funny being insulting towards a stranger, I'm going to say, I guess you're no stranger to bad decisions. Yes, sir, this is the Casper Jones signature shape. The graphics on this one are a combination of my signature graphic and the lorry graphic of my dog and my local 8-stair. Connor, I'm not going to change the way I skate. I would suggest you can, once again, try the boards that I'm making here on live if you'd like to make some suggestions for the boards. But I'm happy with these rails that Lil John's makes for us with the name of the company on them. These are Life Lil John's rails that I custom bend myself. They take a beating. They go from board to board. It's not plastic, it's urethane. Whew. Alright, this live is going to be ending here shortly because I'm going to have this board all the way together. I'm going to get home, eat some food, hang out with my dog, and go to the skate park. And I will be back on a live probably tomorrow. I need 24 hours between pressings, so it's going to be a little bit delayed after that. Sunnyland asked, shark wheels, yay or nay? I have not tried them except for just like rolling through some crazy stuff, and they're insane. For a while I thought they were a little bit non-functional, but then I watched people, like if you go on Instagram, there's a guy whose Instagram name is Icelandic Iceman. He skates shark wheels and he's doing insane street stuff. Really technical tricks. It's wild. I think those wheels look wild when they spin and they're rad. See you, Zach. Thank you, Caleb. Tomorrow I'll probably end up doing the same thing unless there's some boards already shaped for me. Oops. Yeah. I do also have to run down to Columbus, Indiana tomorrow to deliver some prizes for a contest, just in case I'm not back from BAMS in time for the contest. Oh. I need a new piece of hardware. That's an old one right there. Where's the bigger hardware? What the heck? We'll see if this works, but I don't think it will. Yeah, that'll hold. The hardware's lasted a long time, huh? Alrighty, and there she is. So when I get home, there was another screw right here. Where'd it go? There it is. So when I get home today, I'll throw some of those extra deck screws in there. And remember, guys, if you like our stream, Khalil thought I was being mean. Who's that? Was I being mean? I hope I wasn't. Connor asked, what wheel shape enduro do I ride? I ride a 59 millimeters 99A Jeremy Green Speed Lab wheel. That's what I like, and that's what I skate. On my freestyle board, I do have moonshines on there. But yeah, it looks like I'm just short one screw if I can find it. That would be rad. But remember, guys, if you'd like to support the channel, you can always buy supers. Oh, I don't think they were. Yeah, I never know sometimes on the internet, dude. I don't know how to read things. Oh, dude, that's funny. So somebody got caught saying "get a life" to people, and it got taken the wrong way. Funny story before I leave. So "get a life" is our tagline, because that's so fun to say to people. Oh, dude, Tyler, that's awesome. That feels great. So I put "get a life" on like somebody's Facebook at one point because they're asking about what board they should get. And then I got a bunch of messages that said, "go fuck yourself" and "fuck you" and "go die." It was great. Somebody was having a bad day, and all I was trying to do was tell them to get a skateboard from me. I'm just trying to sell some toys, guys. Remember, yeah, that was so nice of you guys. I really appreciate that. Tyler, you're the best. I'm sure I'll see you around, man. I should be at the Columbus contest. I'm going to be out at Castle Bam before that, so if that runs over, I hope you guys don't blame me for spending some more time over at Bam's house. But have a great day, guys. Remember, you can buy supers, watch my videos, push my watch hours. The next step is watch ads. So thank you.